Now let's talk about Mr. Reset and the Society of Turnbuckle and Bone. Now this comes to us from our good friend Vinny Pacifico, wrestler Vinny Pacifico. It tells the story about a underground Illuminati style society that controls professional wrestling to rule the world.
Yeah.
And it's headed by Mr. Reset.
Yeah.
And if you meet with Mr. Reset, he can revitalize your career, but you have to give him some collateral and you have to fight for it. And Vinny Pacifico has Power Punch. He enters into this secret tournament and he puts his wife up as collateral.
Yeah.
It's not a good idea.
Yeah, I know.
Yes, and he makes a deal with Mr. Reset. It's the word here, Joey, is experimental.
Yeah. Yep. That pretty much covers it.
It's in color. It's in black and white. There's text on screen. Sometimes it's animated. You have other wrestlers. You got Ryzen there. I forget his name. There. Bobby Fish was there.
Yep.
Nice. I haven't seen Bobby Fish. I mean, I don't really watch too much wrestling these days, but it was nice seeing him. I used to really love. You'll hear how much I used to love Undisputed Era in a little bit. But yeah, I don't really know what to say about this. It was a very unique experience. Joey, do you have any thoughts? Do you have any questions?
Yeah. I have a lot of questions. First, let me say, this really reminds me of being in college and rolling up a spliff and dropping some acid. Because this movie is a fucking trip. Tony, I oftentimes I'm confused in life. Okay. It's just, the trials and tribulations of a young man. Okay. Mike's gone. Exactly.
Mike died.
I was very, very confused on what I was even watching when I first started. And again, I'm going in blind. I didn't watch the trailer. But hey, I love wrestling. Now, what I will say about this movie is, you mentioned it's experimental. There's lots of unique, different video styles throughout even the first 20 minutes of the movie. And that's one thing. Actually, you know what? There's one thing that the movie does really fucking fantastic. By the way, it's documentary, not documentary, for the record.
Thank you.
It has a unique style. And it fucking sticks with it, right? It may showcase different video styles, like animation, text on screen, stop motion, whatever the fuck else it does. I hope that thing wasn't AI, by the way. But it sticks with its style, its editing style in particular. And the editing and the dialogue and the mood, it's all pretty cohesive. And that's one thing I'll give this movie. Now, about 40 minutes in, I'm even more confused than I was in the first 20 minutes in. And you know what? I think that was probably the point of the movie, and it did its job because when I finished, I just turned off the TV and said, "Okay, I'm going to bed. I can't do anything else after that."
Well, Joey.
Yeah.
Again, we have many questions. I was lucky enough to interview the star and executive producer.
Whoa!
And we're going to cut to that interview now, and we'll be back after this. And we're going to get some answers, Joey.
Yes!
We're going to get some answers. So everyone stand by. Hello, Vinny. How are you?
Tony, how you doing? Thank you for having me.
Doing great. You are the star and executive producer of Mr. Reset and the Society of Turnbuckle and Bone. Thank you for hitting me up and telling me about this. I have a few questions for you.
I love it.
First off, let's talk about the wrestling. How long have you been wrestling?
12 years. Started at 14 years old. Trained by the Ring of Honor Dojo, and it's an amazing journey. 12 plus countries. Getting to do things I've only dreamed of as a kid. So I'm so grateful for everything.
And people probably could have seen you. You wrestled on AEW, right?
AEW, Ring of Honor, Evolve, New Japan.
Okay.
I wrestled in Japan. Yeah.
We have a lot of wrestling fans in the audience, so probably they already know who you are. When did you decide to get into films? Have you always been into horror films or in films in general? Is this a slow transition, or is this something you wanted to do in addition to wrestling?
Great question. So I've always been a fan of films. I'm a huge Star Wars fan. I love it. I love it all. I love it all.
Yeah.
I love horror. I love everything I just love film. But as a wrestler, since I'm a kid, I mean, early teens, I always knew I always knew eventually, like, following the footsteps of Dwayne Johnson, John Cena, and The Miz, the guys who go from wrestling into films and do both. I always said, that'll be me one day. But I never had a plan to do it, like, I never had a set plan to do it a certain way. I just said, eventually, I'll do that. And Janet Kozowski, from the director of Mr. Reset, came to me with his idea for Mr. Reset. And luckily for me, I got to play my first ever role in a film, in a wrestling film. So it was kind of easy transition to do that. But once I did that, I said, well, you know, I loved acting. I love this. I want to get into this like way more. So this is my time to really just jump into it. And so, yes, I always knew I would want to get, I always knew I would get into it eventually, but it came a lot sooner than I imagined. And I am so grateful for it.
Nice. I mean, it's a good idea to like start early because a lot of times, like, you're right. Since like The Rock and everything, it's kind of expected if you're a wrestler, you'll eventually do some kind of acting. Whereas older wrestlers didn't know they were going to do that. So you had Hulk Hogan's film career. Exactly. You're like, oh man, he probably should have practiced a little early. Although there is acting in wrestling, obviously. How is it different between like acting in the ring as opposed to acting in like you know, on camera? It's you know, edited after the fact and whatnot.
Great question. So I will tell you, in Mr. Reset, it was very wrestling based. There's a lot of acting to it, but I got to kind of play myself in some ways, like just a fictional version of Vinny Pacifico. So it was very simple. But when I've also done other films as of late, and I've gotten to play a wide array of different characters, different roles, so many different types of scenarios and roles. So I guess you could say wrestling has helped me very much in the sense that I've gotten very good at improv. I've gotten very good at stunts, fighting scenes, combat, you know, intensity, you know, having emotional depth. So that's a benefit. But there are things that are hard with acting. You know, you have to really be able to study a script, study everything. You gotta have to have a whole picture painted in certain ways, and it's different. So it's different. I love it both. I love both of them. I love wrestling. I love acting. But I'm very grateful that I've been wrestling first because it's gotten me some serious knowledge, or at least some background, being able to do what I gotta do.
Nice. And then how did you meet the director and writer? Like, where did this idea really come from, and how did you end up producing it?
So producing it, I kind of had some input on the story, and I kind of that's as far as my producing goes. But I was the first person he reached out to regarding this film, so I guess thankfully he gave me the opportunity to be a producer on it. But I'll say this, you know, before my wedding, he hit me up, and you know, he's in wrestling, so we've had some interactions in wrestling. He's like, I've been watching your career, I've been watching your character, I've been watching everything you're doing, and I have a story for a film that I want to do. It's called Mr. Reset. It's about this overlord of pro wrestling who has a secret society. It's great story. And he's like, I want to have you play the protagonist. And this is before my wedding. Wedding went by, did all that fun stuff. Went to Japan, came back, and a month away, he goes, Vinny, I want to do these dates. I want to get a little cast together, and I want to see what we could do. It turned into a lot more than just that. It, you know, out of the idea, we had like a set idea for something. We didn't know what it would be. Would it be a TV show? Would it be just a YouTube thing? Would it be we didn't know what it would be. And it turned into something bigger and like into a film than we ever imagined. And we're grateful for that too, because that's just, we knew what we had in our hands. We wanted it to be something serious. We didn't want it to be just something we did on a weekend. We wanted to go hard on it. So we did. We ended up saying, all right, you know, we wrote down, had a few pages written down, and those few pages turned into many pages. and then it became a film.
Yeah, okay, so that's one of the questions I had. How you said you didn't know what it was at first.
Organically became that, you know? It's a beautiful, that's a beautiful thing.
But it's funny because there is like this chaotic multimedia style presentation where like sometimes it's like a documentary, and then sometimes it's a narrative, and then it's an animation at one point. Where did you guys decide to come up with having the story told in all these different ways and having like the text on screen as they're talking?
I think
it was very experimental watching it. I'm like, something's going. I haven't seen anything like this before.
It's different, right? So
yeah, it's very different.
We tried to tap into so many different fandoms. Like we know wrestling touches horror, wrestling touches anime, wrestling goes into gaming. So we kind of wanted a little bit of everything for every wrestling fan and horror fan. So we wanted to really just. We really just tried to like make it experimental, and we tried to fit in a lot of different of people's fandoms into one film. JC's style is very different, and I love that.
Yeah, it was just very interesting to watch. I was just like, I don't think I've ever seen anything like this before. So, looking at the other wrestlers who are in this, I love wrestling, but like it's just been hard for me to follow in recent years just because of work and everything. I try to keep up as much as I can. But the one I did recognize a lot was Bobby Fish, who I was a big fan of when he was in the Undisputed era. Like that's when I got back into wrestling.
Yeah.
How do the other wrestlers like enjoy like acting and like were they like you? They really enjoyed it. Was it harder for them or?
They loved it. We had a really good time filming, all of us. It was great. Like we were a tight knit group of people who were just like, let's kill this. Let's have a good time. And at first it was like just having a good time with friends, filming this thing, but then it got serious and became like, all right, now it's work. Now we have to put more, ideas here. A lot of it was like building as we're filming and building as the process was going on, which is a beautiful thing. Which is, and that usually happens when ideas formulate. But everyone had a really good time. Everyone is amazingly everyone's amazing in my opinion. I think everyone did a really good job.
Yeah, did you? I was going to say, speaking of people you acted with, did you enjoy acting with your wife in the film?
Oh yeah. So how that came about was
I had to look that up. I'm like, wait, is that his wife? Like,
yeah. So how that happened was I always knew she had a charisma to her.
Yeah.
But she's not a performer. So we did a engagement shoot, Halloween engagement shoot.
Yeah.
And she was so good at the reactions, pictures, and I just said, you need a chance to get in front of camera and act. And that was it. And then she had her first chance. Jay gave it to her, and she got a standing ovation on set.
Yes, and I see she has some credits coming up, and also you have a bunch of credits coming up.
Yeah, it's been.
So my last question is, what is next? Are we going to get more Mr. Reset, and what other projects are coming up that you're very excited to promote and talk about?
Thank you for asking. So we just filmed Awake in the Dark with Equator Productions. That was an amazing shoot. Me and my wife were part of it. It was amazing, really fun time. But I will say this: The Hours That Keep Us was just announced Monday on Fox News, and that one's gonna be a really fun movie. Tommy Dwyer is the director, and he has an amazing group of people in this cast who are just like, you have me, you have Paige Van Zandt and Mickey Gall, who were in UFC. Then you got Zach Ward from Freddy vs. Jason, Chelsea Bray from Punisher. Like this cast is just insane. So I think that's next. I have a few projects filming in July, but that's one of them in July that I'm really looking forward to. We're looking forward to all of them, of course, but that one's gonna be special because look at the cast; it's just an insane cast. And what's next? Yes, there is more Mr. Reset. We have multiple scripts going right now, and we got a lot going on. It's very exciting.
Awesome. And then what about wrestling? What do you have coming up wrestling wise?
A lot. So I just wrestled on championship wrestling this week. We had TV tapings. Got my head busted open. If you could see it.
Oh man, let's see it.
Right there, a little bit of cut. Ooh. Actually, it looks a little better than it was.
I saw the picture you posted, bleeding.
Oh yeah, it was rough. Garbage pail to the face. That's what it was. Yeah. So I got a lot. This week I'm wrestling for One Fall Wrestling in Atlanta. Next week I have an off week. So I'm filming a movie. Cool. Then I'm back to the road with wrestling for Joshi, Spark Joshi Wrestling in New Jersey. Then some wrestling in Florida. And then I'm back in the East Coast, back on the West Coast again. And then I have a film, South Carolina, Open Casket. That one's gonna be a phenomenal movie. The script is insane. I love it. I'm excited.
Okay.
And then we have just a lot of really fun stuff. Wrestling in between every film. Like I'm filming movies and wrestling pretty much every week in July and going forward a lot of time.
Vinny, it was really great talking to you. I always want to talk to wrestlers on this show, and unfortunately, I only get like mud show workers like Kit Osborne, who are really an embarrassment to the craft. So it's an honor to talk to a real wrestler who's in all these amazing films, unlike Kit Osborne. Where can we follow you, Vinny?
We love you, Kit. You can follow me at Vinny Pacifico 1 on Twitter, Vinny Pacifico on Instagram, and Vinny Pacifico on Facebook.
That's great. I assume you're talking about a different Kit than the one I'm talking about, but yes, please follow Vinny. And check out Mr. Reset and the Society of Turnbuckle and Bone. You can, as of right now, you can rent it on Apple TV and YouTube.
Yep. And Google Play.
And Google Play, yes. So check it out there. And also, great name, Power Punch. I love that name.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I love it. It's